There's two types of property, and most people think that one is more important than the other, and that's true. But it's the one that you think that's most important or most valuable that many people often get wrong. So the two types of property is real property and intellectual property. So real property is real estate, it's dwellings, it's buildings, it's jewelry, it's tangible items, things that you can touch, feel. I remember one of our brokers, he was like, when we started buying real estate, he said, "Why do you want to do that?" And we were like, "We want tangible assets." And he said, "Oh, well, with the stocks, you can touch them, feel them, and all that." And we were like, "No, no, thank you." I mean, we didn't want to have all of our eggs in that basket. But that's real property. But then you have the intellectual property. And that's property that comes from ideas that you have in your mind. It may be a logo, something that you've written, things that you do, music, a rendering. If you have an idea and you draw it out, it could be of a complex, a development, a neighborhood, the way that things are, the infrastructure of something, the way that you create it. It's not tangible yet. It's just your idea that you put to paper. Or it's, like a logo is used all the time. So it's on paper, but it's not something that you can just like lift up and move, and it's not heavy. And so many people put so much into real estate. They think, oh, real estate is the thing. And it is. It's a great thing. But intellectual property is way more valuable than real property. So if you have something, an idea, and you're like, "I'm not even going to tell anyone about it because I don't want anyone to steal it." Well, that's when you get it copywritten, you get a trademark. Now, you absolutely can get an attorney to do it. They have IP attorneys. We have one. And they will get the documents together, and they will use the documents and what am I trying to say? They will register it and, with the date and your name and information stating that you are the originator of that particular intellectual property. Now, you can do it yourself. Absolutely. There's so many different, places online that can show you how to do it. So you can do it yourself and save yourself a few hundred and sometimes thousands of dollars. Or you can even do it the old school way when you write it down, date it, and mail it to yourself. But when you put it in the envelope, you sign the seal of the envelope. And when you get it mailed to you, you don't open it, only if you have to. And that is showing that on this day, you created this. So if it shows up anywhere else, you can say, no, this is when it was first originated. Now, that's the old school look. I'm on a budget. That's that way, but it works just the same. Now, with intellectual property, if a person takes your idea and they tweak it in any form or fashion where it's not in its original state, then it's no longer quote unquote yours. Say, for instance, a joke. If you are talking about something that happened in a car, and then someone else says the same joke, but they're talking about a spaceship. At that point, they changed it just enough so that you can't really claim it as yours. But to keep things at a minimum, to keep your stress levels down, I highly recommend that you properly register your intellectual property so that it is yours, so that you will have a leg to stand on, so that you can absolutely say, I did this first. Whenever I write anything down, anything, I don't care if it's someone's name, whatever it is, I always date it. Whenever you write something down, if you journal, if you are jotting down your business ideas, your business structure, whatever it is, make sure you date it, because the date is really going to matter too. Because you never know. Somebody might say, well, let me just write this down and put this date on here or whatever. But think about the same type of pen stroke, pen ink type. People can tell, experts can tell whether or not you went back and dated it months or years later. So be sure whatever you write down, your intellectual property, that you dated. And also, if you don't want to go through all those hoops, because a lot of things that I do, there's many people in my circle that'll be like, oh, people are trying to steal what you do, or, they're trying to do it just like you do it or whatever. I never worry about it, because at the end of the day, you are that special sauce. You are that missing piece that no one else has. So whatever came to you, your idea, your the information that you shared, your vision, no one can really duplicate it because it's coming from you. It's going to sound different coming from them. It's going to look different coming from them. And they don't have that missing piece, which is you. And sometimes that's what makes the biggest difference. And that's what makes it the most valuable, is you. So don't worry, don't fret. Hey, if they did it better than you, again, have it intellectually property tagged or certified. So great, you did it, but guess what? I'm getting a piece of it because I originated that. And plenty of people do that. Think about songwriters. Most of the songs that are sung have been written by someone else. And that person that wrote it, that's their intellectual property, and they get residuals from that song just as if they sang it too. So you have to be smarter in business. And that's that nugget that I'm dropping today. It's more than going back and forth. Oh, you took this, you did that, you stole that from me, I did it first. You don't have to go through all of that. Get all of your property, get all of your intellectual property properly registered. Now, listen, don't forget about that real property either. When you have your real estate, when you have your jewelry, any valuables, your artwork, make sure all of that is insured. We all want to get our property that we live in and that we have as rental properties. We want to have it insured, but don't forget, insure your jewelry, insure your fine art, insure anything that you have that's tangible and valuable. Make sure you have it insured and registered as well. But the intellectual property, that's where it's at. They're calling that the next new thing. But it's been around since the beginning of the world, really, or of the United States anyway. The four founders definitely put the copyright laws in place because they did not want copycats to come around and try and stake claim to, the things that they had written out for the country. And there's some things that just wasn't fair anyway, but that's a whole nother video. I'm glad that you stopped by. I appreciate you. I am Coach Sherry, and it's been my pleasure. And I'm in my car, so this is car chat and all that. Anyway, take care and stay safe. I'll see you soon.